welcome to Paranormal Gateway ParaTalk. I'm your host, Scott Wise, and Teresa Crest is unable to make it tonight. Tonight, at the end of the show, will be a drawing for a book. Our special guest tonight is Kenny W. Irish, aka a CRYPTOPUNKOLOGIST. He's an author, hardcore punk musician, sales worker professional, originally from the northern part of Vermont. He recently relocated to the beautiful Adirondacks area in upstate New York. He had a love for folklore, legends, monsters, and UFO stories, and his entire life he turned that passion into books, speaking engagements, television, and co-hosting a radio show. We're very excited to have our first zoologist on the show, so without further ado, let's welcome Kenny to the show. Like me.
Hey, how are you? I just barely finally got it pulled up. My phone was going really slow, so
I was trying to slow it down. I tend to talk fast, so I try to slow it down as much as I could.
Oh no, you did good. It was my phone that was messing up. So
technology.
Yeah, so I am on my phone right now, but it's just because I'm just sharing it until Facebook shuts me down and tells me I can't post for the next 24 hours. But you know what? It'll be worth it.
Yeah.
So give me like two more seconds here, and I will be eventually cut off from the world of Facebook.
Oh, well, I was on mine, so.
I don't know why it didn't pop up for me at first. It was giving me an issue. But
well, sometimes I have issues with going live because Facebook turns down 10 minutes over won't go on. So that's why you have to get up and run. So.
No, this was a my phone thing, without a doubt. I was like, oh, come on, why is this doing this now? so we'll just like I said, I'll just finish sharing it out so that way folks that didn't hear about it can hopefully jump on and chat with us and definitely have a good time. So other than that, how is your day going?
It's going pretty good. I've been dealing with that bomb leg for a while.
Yeah.
So,
what's the weather like over there?
Well, it's nice now, but there was a warning for thunderstorms that I don't see anything now. It's bright and sunny.
Yeah, it's been really, really hot here.
Oh yeah, today. It's upper 90s for us. So, yeah.
Oh,
it's hot.
Where are you out of?
Ohio.
Oh, okay.
I'm Pal.
Okay, so then you're definitely feeling what we're feeling. So
yeah.
Was the humidity really?
It's horrible.
Oh, yeah.
I don't get out much, so.
No, gotcha.
Only investigating.
Gotcha. Well, I think I'm about to get kicked off and banned from sharing here in a second. So I'm actually surprised that it hasn't kicked me off yet, because Facebook and their algorithms, they like to mess around. But I've just had nothing but a technical crazy today, because again, first my headphones weren't working, and then I couldn't get my phone working. I'm a sad individual today, I guess. I don't know.
Well, last year, one week and said we were banned from YouTube, and we don't do anything with YouTube. I mean, Teresa has a mouth on her sometimes, but we didn't have anything, so I can play it back up in about 48 hours. So I'll mad about that.
Good. All right. Well, it just officially booted me, so
okay,
we're ready to rock.
Well, first thing I always ask is what got you in paranormal? Was the experience you had growing up, or?
No, not really. I, as a real young kid, I loved all kinds of monsters: Frankenstein, the Wolfman, Godzilla, King Kong, the Incredible Hulk. And I lived in northern Vermont, and somebody had said to me that, you know, Godzilla lived in Lake Champlain, and they were referring to Champ, the Lake Champlain monster.
Oh, yeah.
And so at that point, from there, I was just hooked. I mean, it was just that was it. I mean, I'm in my 40s now, and I'm still running around like I'm 4 years old when it comes to monsters and legends. So that's really what pulled me into it.
Yes, I think me. I didn't have any experiences, but I did the same thing you did, and started trying to research. I read a lot of books, and there's some books you can get at the library. So yeah, find other ways to go about doing it. But once I got older, I got out. There's a really great team of mine. We've been together for over 10 years now.
Oh.
I was originally from York, Pennsylvania. So
okay.
That's right. So, but we got a lot then, but we're all in different states now. Ohio, South Carolina, one PA. So we don't count too much.
Yeah. What was your favorite place to live?
Yes, I like Ohio.
Okay.
I'm not. I'm a Penn State fan. I'm not gonna no way go for the Buckeyes or anything, but I like the area. Yeah.
Awesome.
And right now we're living it out. There's everything like leads down a couple blocks, not too far.
Sure. Sure.
Necessities and stuff. So yeah, it's
sure. Very cool.
Where you live about?
What's that?
Where you live?
Oh, I live in upstate New York. I live.
That's right. I just said that.
Yeah, it's just below the right around near the where the Adirondacks start.
That'd be awesome.
It's beautiful. I mean, it's millions of acres of just forest land, and that's actually where I'm with a group called the New York Bigfoot Society, and that's actually where a couple of our research areas are, just outside of Whitehall, New York, which is on the East Coast considered the epicenter for Bigfoot sightings. So, but yeah, it's a beautiful area. I miss living in Vermont. I moved out here in 2014 with the company that I was working with. But since then, it's beautiful. It's beautiful out here. I like visiting Vermont, but I don't know. I guess, I've always been a New Yorker at heart and just didn't realize it.
But now I'm still a Yorker, but I like that here too. So
yeah, awesome, very cool.
But so do you grab a team? There's team.
Yeah. There's a team. There's some members that kind of come and go, like, depending on like if they're in school, they'll come back around when they're in the area. Yeah. We've got a program that we started doing because New York's so big, and we would get reports from all over the state, and we just we couldn't follow up on them, so we ended up creating a program called the Ambassador Program. So we've got individuals in other groups that are in different parts of the state. And if we hear, we get a report from that certain area, we'll reach out to that group or that individual and say, hey, can you follow up on this? Can you go talk to this individual? Because again, I mean, we're just like near Saratoga Springs, Albany, New York area. So, to get over to Buffalo. What's that?
Collaborating.
Yeah.
Collaborating. Yeah,
exactly.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's because there's a lot of people too, that, they want to, join a group. So instead of just saying, okay, yeah, everybody just come on in, we started the Ambassador Program so people could kind of see kind of what it was all about. And then after a while, they became a member. So, at first it was, having conversations and just finding out kind of, what they were into and what they were hoping to kind of get out of it. Like if they were hoping to, go out in the woods and have an experience and see something every single time, it was like, okay, we don't want to bust your bubble, but it doesn't work like that. Yeah. So, so we ended up, so, I mean, everybody as far as I know, that's come on as an ambassador are still with us. So, and again, we've got, people that are, down in the New Jersey area that we've become friends with. So, so we definitely, we reach out, we collaborate. And if we get something, if another team gets something, up north where we are, they'll reach out to us and say, hey, FYI, somebody reached out to me. So, just a lot of fun with trying to enjoy it and just have a lot of fun with it and not take it so serious where it burns us out, because you can get burnt out doing this as well. So
right. Yeah, I always said before, like even online on my website, that hey, to come along, that's fine. Just don't go out and buy tons of equipment, because you might go out and say, well, I don't like it, this just sucks, I don't know how to do it anymore. Because, what I mean, people could be like that, but you don't spend a lot of money on stuff. Go see you can find a team nearby who's willing to take you out.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10 will take you out. I mean,
yeah,
we always
absolutely.
So.
And the thing too, the team that I'm with, we actually kind of cut back on like the technology that we were using, because to be honest with you, we would go out there, we would spend 6 hours setting everything up.
No, we stop there
2 hours to tear it all down. So, and then the other thing that we realized, I mean, we still use, technology. We still, we'll still use, cameras, digital recorders. Mm-hmm. But one of the things that we realized that we were doing is we were using so much equipment that we were so distracted by all the equipment that, I mean, something literally, let's say a dog man could have come up and walked right in front of us. We never even would have known. I mean, we were so focused on everything that was going on, well, this equipment, that equipment, and then our phones, looking at our phones, making sure everything. So we still use equipment, but we've scaled back a lot, and it's more, just kind of the basics, and we're trying to like use our senses and our eyes and our ears more instead of just relying on all the equipment. So it's been a good thing, because to be able to sit out in the woods in the middle of the night and just be able to listen to your surroundings and look around you and actually feel like you're kind of part of it. It's so much more therapeutic than trying to get some noise in the distance, if you will.
Right. Yes, a lot of places we go to, we'll have our recorders and digital recorders running, and we'll go out to eat or something. I come back and we'll check, do quiet time. So we do that pretty often too. But I never. That time I was out in the woods is back in PA. There's an old cemetery that we used to go to, but I never went out Bigfoot hunting. They're going to be one out there. I don't know.
Yeah. I've yet to see one. Had some weird experiences. Stuff I can't necessarily explain, but as far as actually seeing something, no. The leader of the group that I'm with, his name's Gary Robusto. His education and background is in animal behavior, and he's actually back in school right now, back in college. So he's becoming the scientist guy, and he's one of those guys where if I'm out in the woods and I hear something and I don't know what it is, he knows what it is. He's also a woodsman. He's like a bushwhacker. Like on his days off, like he'll hike 6 miles into the woods just to turn around and come back. And that's just his thing. I mean, if you go out in the woods with him, you're on the trail for about the first 30 seconds, and then after that, it's just horrible. But that's his thing. So again, if I hear something or whatever, and I don't know what it is, 9 times out of 10, he's able to say, hey, yeah, this is what it is. And about 1.5 years ago, it'll be almost 2 years now, he actually had what he would consider an actual sighting. I mean, normally he can, he's like, no, it was this, it was that. And he's got no other explanation. So he's one of the lucky ones, yet one of the cursed ones, because, once you see something and you actually see it and you're like, wait a minute. Okay. So this is real. What I'm looking at here, you start questioning everything. So, for a lot of people, it becomes a curse to them. So, So I don't know if I want to see something. I really don't. I as much as I do, I don't at the same time. So it's
Right.
I don't know. It's one of those situations.
No, it's unpredictable. You don't know what's gonna happen. They
Yep.
can see you and run away, or because you're like, "Get my territory, get out of here,"
Yeah. Exactly.
or
So
throw stuff at you.
yeah, and I'm willing to leave if there's something there and it wants me out. I'm willing to leave 100%. I will turn. I will pack it up and
Yeah,
go.
I could do that rocket to the head.
Yeah, yeah. We've had like rocks thrown at us and stuff.
Yeah,
Nothing
I'm
nothing
sure.
major, but
Right, right.
but at the same time, I mean we didn't see 100% where it came from. There's a lot of animals that scavenge, and they build nests. Birds do that, and if people are banging on trees and then you're scaring them, and they've got some type of rock or something that's in their nest, it's part of their nest that they built, and it falls down on you. There's reasons it could be, but we never want to say it's 100%. Okay, this was definitely this.
Right.
Again, 9 times out of 10, we come back with absolutely nothing. So, unfortunately, that's the
Do you ever
game.
get any tree knocks?
We have we actually
Yeah.
have a recording. One of the nights that we were out, this was about 2 years ago, I believe. We were actually doing an experiment. Like, we're just like, okay, every time you hear a tree knock, it sounds exactly the same. But yet when you're using different sticks, you're using different things, it never sounds the same.
Yeah,
It just the sticks are usually broken or rotten, so it sounds different. So we started using rocks, and every single time that we used a rock, it had that exact like crack smack sound.
Oh, right.
So we kept doing it, and then Gary was down near like our camp area, and he's like, all right, I'm going to do one right now. So we heard it, and we had the digital recorders up, and by chance it picked his up, and about 45 seconds later we heard like a knock crack kind of sound come back. So of course it's 2 a.m. in the morning. This is I believe like a Thursday morning. When I say 2 a.m., we don't go out on the weekends because everybody's in the woods on the weekends. We just don't, we want to do it during the week when there's really nobody in the woods. So we also, we looked up to make sure, because when you're in the woods, sometimes you can't feel the wind. So we looked up to see if the top of the trees were swaying, because sometimes when a tree sways, it makes like a crack noise that can kind of sound similar. No wind, nothing. So we actually had that on digital recordings. So it was really
awesome.
neat.
Cool.
Yeah. So when I was at the Sasquatch Festival in Whitehall, New York, back in September, I spoke at it, and I actually played the recording. So it was cool. really neat. And I may actually play it again, not this weekend, but July 30th. I'm going to be in Michigan at the Michigan Bigfoot Conference, and so I may play it there. So,
okay. Well, not to ask you, CRYPTOPUNK.
Yep.
I kind of know why you got into, because you like punk rock.
Right.
That was me too. Younger growing up, like Dead Milkman, I think was on Circle Jerk.
Yeah. I was a big well, I still am a Misfit fan.
Misfits.
And it's funny because how it came about was I can't even remember what grade I was in. Maybe 7th. I don't remember, but my friend gave me a cassette tape, and he's like, "Here, listen to this." I'm like, "What is it?" He's like, "Just listen to it. I stole it from my brother." I'm like, all right, whatever. So I came home, and I was used to hearing like the top 10 on like the regular mainstream radio stations. Pop that tape in, and I was just blown away. And so I got a guitar, and I started playing in different punk bands, and then punk transitioned over into hardcore and then into metal. And pretty much what happened was, I don't know, maybe 3 years ago, Gary, the head of our group, said, he kind of laughed because he's like, "You're like the the crypto punk. You're like the cryptopunkologist. And I'm like,
Oh,
I work in sales and marketing, so I'm like, wow, that's actually
that's pretty
you know,
good.
yeah. So so we started using it and started using it in marketing, my books and different things. So now it's, if you go on Google and put Kenny W. Irish, the cryptopunkologist, first 10 to 15 pages or this mug pops up. So
So what did your family think about this? My family think I'm loony. My family thinks I'm.
Yeah. Well, my wife thinks it's great that I'm doing something, that I have an interest in something.
Oh, sure.
And my daughter, she's 17, so she thinks I'm a loser anyways. But years ago, she used to go, we used to go in my backyard in the woods, and we'd go out there and we'd look for a Bigfoot. She'd do the yells and the screams, and I actually have a picture of us both wearing our hats that say "Gone Squatching," and of course they didn't have a kid's hat, so she's like 6 or 7 maybe, so it's like this huge like baseball hat with it says "Gone Squatching" on it.
That's awesome.
But she actually went with me. I went to Tennessee back in May. I was at the Smoky Mountain Bigfoot Festival with Ken Gerhard, the Ron Moorhead, Mountain Monster guys, and I actually took her with me, so she went out there. So it was my first time in Tennessee. It was her first time in Tennessee. So she enjoys like the environment, like like the festivals and different things like that. She enjoys that. But other than that, when I'm not at the festivals and stuff, then I'm just dad. Then I'm just like I'm in the way. So
when she goes, does she help you out, or she just ditch you once you get there?
No, she actually she did a great job in Tennessee because so I mean she sells my books for me, while I'm talking with people. Awesome. And when it was my time to go up and speak, I left her there, went up on the stage, and she continued to sell my books. And so yeah, she does a great job. She's my best friend, so she helps me out, whenever she can. And so she's again, she's a good girl. And then, she loves it when people are like, wait a minute, that's your dad. They're like, wait, we saw him on TV. Then she's like, oh yeah, that's my dad. Other than that, no, she won't bring me up. She wants nothing to do with me.
So you think that people are trying to solve the idea of cryptids and ghosts? Because that's like, does anybody ever say anything about that? That's I mean, someone's going to say is that the blessing is saying there is such thing. What are you talking about? They're ever tell you that or walk up to you and say, you're out of your mind?
Yeah. I mean, they have, and I tell people too, I'm like, look, I am to a degree out of my mind. But at the same time, what I really like about creatures, monsters, is the legend behind it. That's what really drives me, the stories behind it. Like I'm big into Native American folklore when it comes to monsters, cryptids, sea creatures, what have you. So that's my main drive. But at the same time, I also tell people, look, I am a skeptic. Like I don't just believe everything, and I'm not
that way.
Yeah. When you say skeptic too, a lot of people see you as, okay, well, he's a naysayer. It's like, no, it's not like that. I will question everything. That doesn't mean that I don't believe what you're telling me. I just, again, you just can't jump on every single boat at the same time, because eventually you're going to miss and fall in the water and drown. So, I also want to have conversations with people because, like right now there's this big, that there's this big back and forth about whether, something like Sasquatch is flesh and blood, or it's spirit, or it's interdimensional. There's people that have actually hardcore picked sides saying, well, no, this is what it is. That's what it is. And at one point in time, I was big into the flesh and blood, and now I don't know. Now, I've talked to so many people that have been like, I was in the woods. I've hunted these woods for years. I know what's in the woods. I saw something that resembled a Sasquatch, and it literally like dissipated right in front of me, just disappeared. And these are credible people. So it's just like I'm to a point now where I don't know. I mean, I never knew, and I never claimed to know, but I guess I kind of walk the middle line because I want to be able to have conversations, with everybody, and I want to know what other people are thinking, what they're seeing, what they're hearing, and I don't want to get to that point where I'm so far on one side that people don't want to talk to me, or it shuts down conversation. Because I think as any real researcher, and again, this is just my opinion, to be a real researcher, you've got to talk with everybody. You've got to not believe everybody, just have conversations with them and see what they're saying. And I've learned a lot by doing that. And there's a lot that I didn't know. And I talked to a lot of credible people that if I had picked one side, I may not have necessarily had that conversation with them. And, would have missed a relationship, a friendship, different things like that. So, I mean, nobody 100% can put a finger on it and say it's 100% this, it's 100% that, because there's so many different people saying so many different things. So I just want to keep the conversation open and going and see what people say. I've talked to people that have been like, hey, I've seen hundreds of Bigfoot. Okay, well, okay, that sounds very out there. And usually if it gets kind of crazy, like I'm just like, then I might shut that conversation down a little bit. Because when I was writing the book American Cryptids, I was getting Bigfoot sightings from each state. And one individual I talked to, he said, yeah, I've seen a Bigfoot. He goes, I've seen many. And I'm like, really? How many? He's like, hundreds. And I'm just like, click. I hung up the phone. I'm just like, look, I'm not, it's just like, it's very unusual. It's very unusual. Not saying that the guy was lying to me, but at the same time, I wasn't going to put that in my book because it just doesn't line up. I got a chance
to be in this book. I saw 100 Bigfoot.
Yeah. And that was the thing. And when I was talking to each individual from each state, I would have people that would have so much information. It was a 3-second sighting, but they would give you detail as if they had hung out and had dinner with what they saw.
Oh, wow.
And, so I ended up going, the majority of the sightings that I put in American Cryptids were individuals that didn't believe, weren't out there looking for anything, just happened to come across something that to this day they don't understand. They don't know why it was there. It's making them question a lot of things, and it fits the description of a Bigfoot. So those testimonies for me, those witnesses and those encounters, really, I don't know, those kind of really stick out to me. Again, if and that doesn't discredit anybody that's out looking, because obviously I'm out looking, but it was just, there was something about talking with somebody that had an experience that they can't understand, but yet what they saw resembled what we call Bigfoot or Sasquatch. There's something about that, and there's a lot of emotion behind it, where people's voices were cracking, some people sounding like they're, because it goes against everything that they've ever known and understood. I mean, you're talking, people that had hunted or guys that had fished in this certain area for years and then saw something. And, this is a place they fished with their father, their grandfather, and they've never gone back because what they saw just defies all what they understand. So those are the encounters that the majority, I'd say probably 90% of the encounters in American Cryptids was based off of individuals, again, that weren't looking.
Right. I also love the fact about we did for Native Americans and the tribes, and you explained each one for each, and then what they call Bigfoot or whatever they call it.
Yep.
I like the idea you can do that too. I think it was nice for you to reach out and, you know what I mean, and put that in your book.
Well, you know, in the whole thing, like I had mentioned earlier, I love Native American folklore, and a lot of what we know nowadays, when it comes to any type of cryptid, unusual spirit, you know, a lot of what we know was passed down by the Native American people, and the native tribes people, and so I give them pretty much all the credit for what we know nowadays, because, like, for instance, 1967, the Patterson Gimlin footage, a lot of people see that, and then they start studying from there forward. I actually hit 1967 and went backwards because I wanted to find like the earliest information, and I wanted to, kind of find out, like, well, where did this come from? Why does this tribe say this? What did they see? So again, a lot of my research is based off of Native American lore, so I give them all credit. And in the beginning of the book, I actually put that in there, that I give them credit for, I guess, in a sense, keeping me even hooked on the subject, because again, there's so much history, with, and again, not just with cryptids, with spirits and different things. So it's always been a pleasure of mine to just talk to Native American individuals about their experiences.
Yeah, with that footage of the Patterson one. I saw the other day that somebody had, that they were trying to prove or disprove. He did a 4K. You ever see a 4K one done on it? Did you ever see somebody do that one? It's on
4K?
YouTube. So okay. That 4K on that. And people are thinking of somebody, and there's like a mark at the side here.
Yeah.
And they say it's caused by the arms rubbing as they walked. And so it's like that gives away a guy in a suit. I mean, so they're pointing at different things that prove the existence that is real. Actually, one more thing in data tries to prove that it is real. So, well, check it out.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen a lot of different videos, where people have tried to debunk it, try to prove it. Doug Hishek, who is the producer of that show Monster Quest, he did a video, and there's a lot of people that did a lot of videos on it. And, there's lots of reasons that people point out that make sense of saying why it's not real. And then there's also some good, credible evidence of why it was. It's one of those things, unless I was there, I can't even say. And, I'll go through time. It's funny because people will be like, so do you believe it's real or it's fake? And I'll be like, well, it really depends on when you ask me, because I could be like, see something, see a video and go, okay, this isn't real. And then see another one where they're saying, well, it is because of this. So it's kind of one of those things where it's just like, it depends on when you ask me, what I've researched, what has taken me in different directions. So I'm kind of all across the board, but it's because I don't really want to settle on this or that. I want to continue to keep looking and keep researching and seeing different ideas, and why different people see what they see.
Yeah, I go back here once in a while, check, see if anything new about it too, and help you put stuff down. So it's always good to keep going back and looking. So.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And there's times where I've gone back and I've looked at something that I hadn't seen in a couple of years, and based off of something that I've learned, have been able to look at it and see something different that I didn't see before. That might be like, okay, well, before I was looking at this from this point of view, and I wasn't paying attention to this part over here. So again, kind of sometimes I'm all over the board, but I guess we'll see where I am tomorrow.
After you with this book, and did you think there's anything that you wish you had in it, or that you?
No. And I'll tell you why. That book has been in my head for about 20 years.
Okay.
So it's just like it was just finally getting everything out of my head and on paper. And so I went back and forth with that book so many times. So many times I put it down, picked it back up. And it just got to a point where when I finally turned in the final manuscript, here I'm done, to the publisher, I was happy. Like I was happy with it, but yet as a writer, it's kind of like folks that play in bands. Like I would always tell my band, like, okay, until we hate this song that we're playing, we're not ready to play it yet. So it was the same thing with the book. By the time I was done writing the book, I had everything there. I was happy with it, but I hated it just as much as I loved it. So It was, because I'll never pick up the book and read it myself, because I wrote it. I don't. So it's like I literally I'm one of those people where some people are just so happy when they're done writing the book. They're, they hold it up to their chest like they're hugging it. Me, I'm like, nah, I'm done with it now. Here, publisher, do what you got to do. I hate it. I've got my follow-up, which is actually releasing. It's supposed to release this month. The follow-up.
I was going to ask you to do another book. I just asked you that. So.
Yep. It's called International Cryptids and Legends. So it follows the same type of pattern as American Cryptids, but I went I talked about cryptids, monsters, and spirits, from like Russia, Germany, all these places outside of the U.S. And again, it was another one of those manuscripts, one of those love-hate, manuscripts, and but I covered, like in Germany, I covered Krampus. Have you ever heard of Krampus?
Oh God,
yeah. I covered Krampus. For Russia, because so pretty much how it was. Okay, so let's say with Russia, I covered like 5 or 6 different either spirits, monsters, or legends from Russia. Then went to like Malaysia and covered 5 or 6 different cryptids, monsters. So that's kind of how I did it. So it's different creatures, different monsters. And I did, I believe it was 12 chapters, I believe. So again, so for Russia, the Delilov Pass incident where those hikers went out, and some people believe it was a Bigfoot. Some people believe it was aliens, because they ended up going out. They sent a search party out for these hikers, these experienced hikers, and they were all dead. I believe there was like 12 of them. So I talk about that and International Cryptids and Legends, because the Yeti in there his name's Menk. And so Mank. I covered Mank. Yep. That's what the Mansi tribes people in that area call named them. So or her. So again, and I didn't just do like monsters and stuff. Because a lot of it, when you get out of the United States and you go to these other countries, that stuff's weird. It gets really weird. There's nothing in the U.S. that we talk about when it comes to cryptids or spirits that are as weird as they are when you get out of the United States. I mean, there are some crazy legends, just nutty stuff. Wow. And so I put them in the book because it's interesting and really, really cool. So I did a lot of research on it.
It comes out next week. What do you say it comes out?
It's supposed to, as of right now, we're looking at a July release.
Oh, okay.
So we're hoping that it's going to be available by the end of this month.
Worst
case scenario, it's the beginning of August. Yeah. Again, it was one of those things, one of those love-hate relationships. So I'm excited to get it out. The American Cryptids, the introduction was written by Ken Gerhard, who is a renowned cryptozoologist. The foreword was written by Katie Elizabeth, who is she heads up Champ Search. She's a big Champ Lake Champlain monster individual. But International Cryptids and Legends, the foreword was written by Josh Turner of Paranormal Roundtable. So it's I'm excited to get it out. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too.
Awesome. Excellent.
Are there any events coming up?
I do. Not this weekend, but the weekend of the 30th, July 30th, I'm going to be in Michigan, at the Michigan Bigfoot Conference.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Lyle Blackburn's going to be there. He's one of the
Cool.
speakers. Shaitan Norris going to be there. Russell Accord from the TV show Expedition Bigfoot's going to be there. I believe Adam Davies is going to be there. He did he was in a lot of the Monster Quest episodes. So I'm looking forward to that. And then August 6th, I'm one of the organizers in Port Henry, New York for the Lake Champlain Monster Festival. They've got one. So I'm going to be there. I'm going to be helping, set stuff up and everything, but, I'll still be there. And then August 12th or 13th, I'd have to look at the calendar. I'm going to be in Paris, Tennessee at the Dogman and Cryptid Conference. Going to be a lot of people there at that one. Ken Gerhard's going to be there. Lyle Blackburn, Josh Turner, a lot of Jody Cook, a lot of the Dogmen people are going to be there. So
that sounds like fun. Oh,
yeah. Steve Stockton's going to be there. He's got he does a podcast too, a real popular podcast. Going to be a lot of really cool people there. So I'm looking forward to that. One of the guys that's actually coming out to it, which I didn't realize he follows me, but he's actually the bass player. Well, he was. And then he hasn't been in the band for a while, but I just saw an article today that he's actually joined back up. There's a band called Devil Driver. It's a huge band.
No, I know they are.
Yeah. John Miller, the original bass player, I guess just went back, and he's going to start touring with them again this fall. He's actually going to be at the event, so I'm looking forward to meeting him because I love that band for years. And what happened was I was on vacation last week, and I went to the International Cryptozoology Museum in Portland, Maine, and posted it. And then, it got a bunch of likes, and I just happened to look at the last like, and it was the John Miller. I'm like, I wonder if that's the guy who, used to play for Devil Driver. And I clicked on it, started looking. I'm like, oh, it is. Wow. I was like, wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. So,
that is awesome. Yeah. That is pretty cool.
Yeah. Definitely. So I'll get to meet him. I met him years ago, when I was just at a show that Devil Driver was playing. So I just never made the connection until I just happened to, because every once in a while I'll be like, okay, well, who's this person, that liked it? And I'll just see who they are. And by chance it happened to click on that. I was like, wow, John Miller. Wow.
Yes. That is awesome. Yeah.
All right.
So getting down the comments here, I'm going to start drawing. Just one person in now. I'll get about a minute here, and
okay.
Then someone get the book. I'll pull it.
Did I send you the book?
No.
Okay.
No.
I was just like.
But I read a digital file.
Okay.
So
okay.
Yeah, I bought that. I bought that like 6 months ago. So
okay.
I read it again yesterday. So
okay. What I'll do is I'll as soon as I get off the show with you, I'm gonna grab one. I'm gonna sign it and I'm gonna mail it out tomorrow. Because I again I was like wait a minute. I was like, did I actually send that?
Well, I'm going to pull us up and give a couple of seconds here too. But if you write down up here, if you type in hashtag cryptids, all lowercase, in the chat, it'll get you a chance to win his book, his digital copy. I'll send a link to you from Amazon, and so we'll get a couple seconds here. So somebody else wants to pop in, or just one viewer is going to get it.
Okay.
Yeah, I just get wants to or get more people on name, but all right. Here's two in there. All you do is type in hashtag cryptids. Here, like this. All right. I typed in. That's me in there. Oh, no. Two people out there. Everybody want to look? All right, that's chance.
Yeah.
4 people. Come on, 4 people. Type in hashtag cryptids. I'll start typing the comments. We'll try to get people. Here we go. Here we go. Now people popping in. Got 2 so far. Yeah, a couple more seconds. I saw 4 out there. We'll do for 4. So far 2. Hashtag cryptids. All right, good. Another 30 seconds. Now I'll draw. Yeah, you just before the author on all back and did the same thing. So, all right, I'll connect that a ghost. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw this. And whoever wins, I'll give you my email, send me, and I'll send a link to the book. So I'll go draw now. I can't win. I think I'm in there.
Yeah.
So whoever's the other one there is going to win it. So I can't win. I got to draw again.
It wants you to win.
Don't want me to win. I already got one now. Who's doing there? Ah, what the heck?
It's gonna keep doing it.
Maybe he's doing that. Did somebody thief? No, they're still in there. Oh my God, really? One more time now, just get the guy's name.
Remember.
Duplicates.
I was having issues earlier with all my stuff. So yeah, it wants you to win.
I shouldn't do duplicates out, but I want to win. I got a book. That's really. This is pathetic. All right, well, let's see who it is. I'll look on. Just tell me who you are in the comments, and I'll send you a book. I won it 4 times.
It's your lucky day.
Oh yeah, it is. All right, whoever's in the chat, just give me your name, and I'll send you the book. I'm not sure why I kept throwing me, but we'll just do that. All right, I'll find out who it is. I'll send the book.
All right.
I don't know who would jump me anymore.
yeah, I gotta run. So,
yeah, so
awesome.
All right, I'll let you know. Okay, Kay, take care. Thanks for coming along. I had a blast, and we'll get back on again. I mean, I could talk to you like forever, so
sure.
I know it wasn't a good night because you got something to do. But yeah, I'll get you back on again.
Certainly, yeah,
Take
definitely
care
reach out.
God bless. Take care and Paranormal out. Peace.